Hello there. This is the Shawn 1113 podcast show. I am your host, Shawn 1113. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Wherever you may be, wherever you listening to on whatever platform you're listening at, anywhere and everywhere in the world. Also, YouTube as well now. Also, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Podbean, Podcast Addict, Spotify for creators, all kinds of podcasts, all kinds of platforms as well. Remember, give it a 5-star rating, share it, and share this podcast as well. And with that, also, it's now December. I'm recording this December 3rd, 2024. Before we get to the meat of the sports show and the sports matter, I have a little bit gripe. I'm trying to figure out also the music. If you go, do me a favor, see if you can give me like some music podcasts without copyright claims or royalty free music. Honestly, of that. So I'm going to try to do that. If there's any sites, let me know in the comments section or email me at Shawn47k at gmail.com. Shawn47k at gmail.com. It'll be greatly appreciated. Um, my biggest gripe about December Christmas is really all the Christmas songs. You know, it's this time of the year, it's holidays and all that other stuff, and you know, it's going to be played. All variations of Christmas songs are going to be played to death. And but what in the hell? It's one thing to play a Christmas song on Christmas in December. Really, Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, for me, the day after Thanksgiving is I start, if I'm going to listen to Christmas stuff and whatever. Um, but what in the hell is are you doing playing All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey even before Halloween? What? It's not even Halloween. And I hear this song, I'm like, should it be for December? Not October? I'm like, I know they're going to play that song to death, but why do I need to hear it September? Well, why do I need to hear it in October in the first place? Ugh. Who? I mean, I got to give a lot of credit to the Hallmark Greeting Company. They own the holidays. Even they got 10,000 sappy romantic new movies, all in all in the holidays, and I'm like, they own the holidays. Okay, Hallmark. Of course, their old slogan is "When you send the very best, when you win the sappiest." I guarantee you, they are the people. Those are the people that make Christmas, that made the holidays happen. And then pretty sooner than later, in the middle of December, and for crying out loud, you know how I feel about Valentine's Day. If you've been along listening on this show, on this podcast, don't even get me started on Valentine's Day. But as soon as mid December comes, go to your Dollar Tree store, Dollar General store, whatever store, Walmart, Target, whatever, and see if you don't see Valentine's Day stuff as soon as December 20th, when the 26th hits, the day after Christmas. See if they start doing Valentine's Day stuff. I'll bet you anything. I guarantee you that. Now let's get to the meat of the matter. The Shawn 1113 podcast show. First and foremost, before we even get to the NFL and college football, uh, Man City. Now it's gotten to the point that my team, I love my team. They've been 4 years. dominated. It is more evident than ever that Liverpool is going to win the league if they keep this pace. But my Man City has regressed to the point. Think about this. To the point now, they can't win the UEFA Champions League. And if they stay regressing, they may not even be in the UEFA Champions League in 2026. They might go to the Europa League. At this point, I'll be happy to go to the UEFA Championship League. If not if they don't win the league. But right now, Liverpool is winning the league. Brighton might win the league. Arsenal and Chelsea might win the league. I mean, at this point, I'm throwing my hands up and saying, what is going on? If you're a Man City fan, you're throwing your hands and saying, what is going on here? What is happening? Well, that's all I got to say about that for world football. On that one. First of all, I almost forgot the Toronto Argonauts. Congratulations to them for winning the Grey Cup recently in the Canadian Football League. I forgot about that last video. Also, NBA, NHL still going on. NFL, the Matt Eberflus thing, he got fired for it. One of the dumbest calls I've seen in a while. I mean, dumb call. I'm glad they fired him. Who's next? I'm talking to the NFL now. Which team is the bigger mess? The New York Giants, the New York Jets, or the Chicago Bears? You tell me. You tell me. Now let's get to the college game right now, first and foremost. And get to the championships. Here we go. Week 15. Excuse me. Week 15 of a college and 16. And the reason I'm going to put 16 because it's Army versus Navy coming up. So I'm going to combine that. And NFL Week 14 and the rankings and stuff. Here we go. Here's the championship games. Western Kentucky and Jacksonville State picking Jacksonville State. Tulane and Army picking Army, which will proceed. Army versus Navy game. I'm picking Army in that one. Ohio against Miami Hell in the MAC, picking Ohio. UNLV and Boise State in the Mountain West, picking Boise State. Big 12, Iowa State and Arizona State. Arizona State's a dangerous team right now, but I'm picking Iowa State. Georgia and Texas in the SEC championship game. I'm picking Georgia. Marshall and Louisiana in the Sun Belt. I am picking Louisiana. In the Big Ten, Penn State and Oregon picking Oregon. Clemson and SMU in the ACC picking SMU. I got to tell you, don't sleep on SMU. Don't sleep on Arizona State as well. In that one, that's the championship game. And of course, I said Army versus Navy for 15. I'm picking Army in that one. Now for the Shawn Steele's NFL picks week 14. Here we go. And it starts with a doozy. Green Bay and Detroit picking Detroit. Cleveland and Pittsburgh picking Pittsburgh. New Orleans and the New York Giants picking New Orleans. New York Jets and Miami picking Miami. Jacksonville and Tennessee picking Tennessee. Atlanta and Minnesota. This is kind of a 50-50 game. Picking Minnesota. Carolina and Philadelphia. Possible upset bid here. Carolina's been playing better than their record. Philadelphia might be vulnerable, but I'm picking Philadelphia over Carolina. Las Vegas and Tampa Bay picking Tampa Bay. Although I got to tell you something, Brock Bowers. That guy is going to be a really good tight end. Or if he's not already on the top of that list. Seattle and Arizona for the lead for the NFC West. I'm picking Seattle. Chicago and San Francisco. I'm going to pick Chicago here. Best of luck for Christian McCaffrey in his PCL, injury. Hopefully he'll come back pretty soon. But I'm picking Chicago here with the new coach and coach. Buffalo and the LA Rams. I'm picking Buffalo. They're the hottest. They're about as hot as anybody in the NFL. LA Chargers and Kansas City. Kansas City gets lucky for whatever reason. I am definitely going to pick the Chargers though to beat Kansas City. One of these days, the luck is going to eventually run out in the regular season. And then Cincinnati and Dallas. The only reason I'm picking Dallas is that Cincinnati's defense stinks. Not their offense, their Cincinnati's defense. But I'm picking Dallas on Monday night for that one. Now on to the FCS second round picks. Here we go. Rhode Island and Mercer picking Mercer. Illinois State versus UC Davis, picking UC Davis. University of Tennessee Martin versus Montana State. I'm picking UT Martin for the upset. Lehigh and Idaho picking Idaho. Villanova and UIW. If you tell me UIW, let me know. But I'm picking Villanova. Abilene Christian versus North Dakota State. I'm picking North Dakota State. Montana and South Dakota State picking Montana. And Tarleton State versus South Dakota picking South Dakota in that one. Now my Shawn Steele's top 12 after week 14. Here we go. Oregon number 1, Georgia 2, Texas 3, Penn State 4, Notre Dame 5, SMU 6. Actually, Tennessee 6. Sorry about that. Let me put Tennessee 6. I don't know why I put that twice. But nevertheless, Tennessee 6. Boise State 7. SMU 8. Arizona State 9. Indiana 10. 11. Ohio State. South Carolina 12. Let me get back to Ohio State for a second. How can you score 10 points? How can you choke a game that you were 21 points favored against Michigan? How? I got to give a bunch of credit to Michigan and their defense for clamping down. But Ohio State had no business losing that game. And Ryan Day, if you're under any ordinary circumstances and it wasn't a playoff, maybe Ryan Day gets fired. Gets fired. Just like a coach named John Cooper years ago was fired at Ohio State because they couldn't beat Michigan. There you go. And by the way, all this taunting and just stop. Just stop with the taunting and stuff, the flag planting and all that other stuff. It's kind of childish, if you ask me. South Carolina, I can put Alabama in that list. I'm going to put a tie between them and Alabama as I'm typing this. And Ole Miss. You can make an argument for all three of those teams. So 12, South Carolina, Alabama, and Ole Miss, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. Man, it's a lot. Now, week 13, after week 13, here's the latest NFL rankings. Here we go. Number 1, still Detroit. Number 2, Buffalo. Number 3, Philadelphia. 4, Green Bay. 5, Pittsburgh. 6, Minnesota. 7, I go all the way down to Kansas City beside their record. They're not playing like their record. Or I would have put them higher. The LA Chargers in 8th. 9, Washington. And then a 3-way tie between Seattle, Baltimore, and Houston. And something is wrong with Justin Tucker. And so, I don't know, in my opinion. So, that's all the Shawn Steele's week 15 and week 16. And NFL picks week 14. Sorry about that. Let me put down Army versus Navy as I would see. And I'm picking Army in that one for week 16. And that's before the playoffs as well. And with that, everything will be linked in the description. Do not worry about that. And this is the Shawn 1113 podcast show for published December 3rd, 2024. And again, a reminder, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Also, everything will be linked in the description on YouTube, on X, what have you. So, with that, again, thank you so much. Hope you had a great and safe holiday so far, particularly Thanksgiving. This Thanksgiving pass as well. And with that, two reminders, please stay encouraged no matter what, and live your life as normal as possible in an abnormal world. Thank you so much.